If you have little kids at home, it's really important to name guardians for them. You want to name long-term guardians so that if something happens to you, you are choosing who would raise your kids. Because if you don't choose who would raise your kids and something happens to you, a judge is going to decide it. It may not be who you would want. So naming guardians is really important. Also, naming temporary guardians is something that I do here at my firm. We pick people that live within 15-20 minutes that can be called in an emergency. The idea is let's say you go out to dinner and don't make it home for some reason or another. A temporary guardian can step in an emergency to make sure that your kids don't end up with the authorities. Because if you don't make it home and the babysitter doesn't know what to do and the babysitter calls the police, the next thing that's going to happen is your kids are going to have to go with Child Protective Services or something for at least a night. When I create state plans for folks with little kids, we do everything that we can to make sure that your kids don't end up having that happen. So it's important to name long-term guardians for sure. It's ideal to name short-term guardians. Also at our firm, we put together a full kids protection plan that leaves instructions to caregivers when you go out, leaves instructions to potential guardians, includes a medical power of attorney for the temporary guardian so that they can deal with the child medically if necessary during the emergency. We really do everything to cover all the possible bases. The idea of not being there for your kids is a horrible idea and nobody wants to think about it, but we open that door and create documents to make sure that no matter what happens, your kids will be with people they know and who love them. If you want to talk about naming guardians, short-term or long-term, feel free to give me a call. I'd be happy to chat.